This Good Morning Northwest morning sprint is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
It is now 6:53, time to get you ready to take on your Tuesday with the Morning Sprint.
It is Super Tuesday, and Sydney Charles has details on the biggest day of the primary season for the 2024 election.
But first, let's get to Allison Martinez in from Mark, talking about some patchy fog and some cold temps.
This morning, as you start your day, we have cold temperatures, particularly over in North Idaho. Another thing we're dealing with is dense, patchy fog, particularly in Spokane. Really low visibility here. Same for Sandpoint, Coeur d'Alene, seeing some areas of very thick fog. So allow yourself plenty of distance and extra time as you head out this morning.
Today, the trial continues for the North Idaho man accused of killing his wife. Daniel Howard is a former Idaho State Police trooper. Kootenai County prosecutors said Howard killed Kendi Howard in 2021, saying the motive stemmed from Kendi wanting a divorce and claiming he killed her so she wouldn't get half of the $2 million in assets the couple shared. The state also claims Kendi died from asphyxiation, not from a gunshot wound to the head. They say Howard staged her death as a suicide. You can read more about arguments from the defense and prosecution under this story on KXLY.com.
Former Pasco police officer Richard Aguirre has been sentenced to 25 years in prison for killing Spokane woman Ruby Doss in 1986. Doss's daughters attended court via Zoom, asking the judge to give Aguirre the maximum sentence of 26 years. Aguirre sat quietly in court as Doss's 4 daughters expressed the pain he's caused their family. Aguirre's attorney argued in favor of the minimum sentence of 20 years. He asked that the judge consider Aguirre's age at the time of the crime and his time served in law enforcement. The judge said he did not give the maximum sentence because of Aguirre's age at the time of the crime. Aguirre was taken away in handcuffs.
We've learned the man involved in a standoff with Spokane police over the weekend died. The standoff happened at a retirement community in west central Spokane on Sunday. Officers say a woman reported the man was trying to light the house on fire. The woman was able to escape, but the man locked himself in a bedroom while the living room burned. Fire crews put out that fire, and when investigators entered that room, they found the man dead from what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. As of now, the medical examiner's office has not released the man's name.
Today will be a turning point in the 2024 campaign season. It's Super Tuesday and millions of people are expected to head to the polls. This morning, 15 states are holding their Republican presidential primaries, with Donald Trump inching closer to his 3rd Republican nomination. At a rally in Texas last night, Nikki Haley insisting she's the only Republican who can beat President Biden. But as of right now, Haley has no public events scheduled for today. Now, coverage on Super Tuesday is coming up next on Good Morning America.
State Senator Andy Billig says he will not run for re-election. Billig represented Spokane for 14 years in the legislature, 2 in Washington State House, and the last 12 in the Senate. During his time in the Senate, Billig pushed more money for education. He released a statement saying part of being a good leader is knowing when it's time to step aside and let others lead. He says he'll continue his career as CEO of Brett Sports.
Shortly after Billig's announcement, State Representative Marcus Riccelli announced he is running to replace Billig in the state Senate. Riccelli has served as a state representative for the last 11 years. He says he is confident he can carry a strong voice for our community in the Senate. Then former Spokane City Council President Ben Stuckert and Spokane Attorney Natasha Hill both announced that they are running for Riccelli's seat in the House. You can read more about their announcements on KXLY.com.
Medical Lake Mayor Terry Cooper is joining the long list of people hoping to replace Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers on Capitol Hill next year. She'll run as a Republican for Washington's 5th legislative district. She'll go up against Michael Baumgartner, Jonathan Bingle, Jacqueline Maycumber, and several other candidates.
Spokane City Council adopted the family-friendly festivals ordinance last night. It allows for all ages beer gardens on city street events. City Council members Zach Zapone and Paul Dillon took the lead passing this bill. They say it allows families to stay together at street festivals, making events like these more family-friendly.
Coop Fest registration is officially open. The largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament in the world will take over downtown Spokane June 29th and 30th, with 45 city blocks shut down for the weekend. To register your team or to volunteer, you can find this story on our website, KXLY.com. We are waking up to some fog and some ice out there. We'll have a final check of weather coming up next.